Welcome to the Left of Str8 Show, your one-stop destination for intriguing conversations with extraordinary individuals who are boldly navigating life outside the conventional norms. Our host, Scott Fullerton, is thrilled to embark on this journey of discovery with all of you. The Left of Str8 Show, we believe that every person's story is unique, and it's our mission to showcase the diversity of human experiences. We bring you the untold stories of fascinating people who identify as LGBT+ and allies, pushing boundaries, breaking stereotypes, and making a positive impact in our communities. On this show, we bring you a diverse lineup of inspiring guests, from activists to artists, and entrepreneurs to entertainers, and everything in between. We dive deep into their personal journeys, discovering the pivotal moment that has shaped their lives and careers. You can expect thought-provoking discussions on a wide range of topics, from LGBTQ rights, social justice to arts, culture, mental health, and more. Our guests are change makers who share their insights, challenges, and triumphs, igniting conversation that promotes empathy, understanding, and love. So whether you're part of the LGBTQ community or an ally looking to expand your knowledge and show your support, the Left of Str8 Show is for you. Together, we can build bridges of understanding and acceptance, celebrating the beauty of what makes us all unique. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for the show.
Well, welcome everyone to another great interview here in the Left of Str8 Show. I'm your host, Scott Fullerton, as always, and I love bringing to you fantastic celebrities and personalities from the areas of entertainment, foodies, books, music, and advocacy, all for our LGBTQ community and straight allies. I'm always smiling when our next guest comes on the show. She's making her third appearance here in the Left of Str8 Show as one of my favorite guests. You may remember Jenna Ushkowitz as Tina Cohen Chang on the iconic series Glee, which has always been one of my favorite women of the theater, both on stage and in the wings. Since we chatted last, Jenna's won another Tony Award as a producer, directed her first short film, co-starred in a hilarious comedy, created another podcast with her bestie Kevin McHale, and played two queens, one drag and one animated. Probably, though, the most important, she married the love of her life and brought a beautiful baby girl to the world. She's probably one of the most positive yet driven people on the planet, and it makes me happy anytime she comes across my social media feeds. So please welcome back to Left of Str8 Show, the beautiful, the talented Miss Jenna Ushkowitz. Miss Stanley, if you're nasty. Jenna, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I've talked to you, apparently.
It's been a while. I mean, you've had a lot of stuff going on in your life, but it's been a long time. I mean,
yes.
I think I had you the first time back in 2017.
Oh my gosh.
And the second time with Kevin, I think, was 2019, right before the pandemic.
Oof.
So
yes,
it's
a
been
lot
a lot
has
of stuff.
happened.
Oh my gosh. A lot of full circle moments. I remember the very first time you were on the show, the Hello Again was just getting ready to show in the theaters across the country. It was coming to my neck of the wood in Columbus.
That's right.
And that's really why I reached out, is Hello Again's playing on Deku, a little streaming platform for the LGBTQ community. And it was back up there. It's like, oh my God, I haven't had Jen on forever. Let me reach out.
I love
it. You're
it.
having the worst week possible, and you said yes, so thank you very much.
Always saying yes. No, happy to do it with you. Happy to chat. It's been a hell of a month.
I bet. I mean, when we talked, I think your husband was ill. There was no child care. And 2 days later, the precious bear passed away.
Yes,
Been in your
sweet
life
boy.
for so many years. Oh, my goodness. But
Yes. He was with me.
You're a mom now. You're nothing but a trooper, right? It's like a law all of a sudden.
You just keep going. You just keep going, you know? There's no other option. Yes, no, our sweet boy bear, who was the start of my family, was, you know, he just got really ill, and, you know, there was really no coming back. So we you know, laid him to rest. He's running free now in the, you know, in the fields. And yes, I am a mother, and it is bananas. So you just keep on moving.
Yes. I do love, though, I mean, trying to catch up in all your projects. I love how Bear had billing in One Night in San Diego. I love that he's a credited IMDb star now. So that's kind
Correct.
of cool.
He has made quite a few cameos in my films, and it's always brought me so much joy. Although he doesn't really like the waiting around, he would always like fall asleep. And then he was snoring during the filming when we finally got to shoot the scene that he was in during one night, and the sound guy was not thrilled. But
Oh, like that. Oh my
yes, he's
God.
made his
That
mark
is
in the
so funny.
Hollywood world as well.
There you go. I bet. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, and like talk about full circle. We talked about your producing back with Kevin, where you won for What's on Island, and now you
Mm-hmm.
have The Inheritance, which is a hugely important LGBTQ play that was
Yes.
on. Talk about that second Tony. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It feels like so long ago now. Kevin was actually an investor in The Inheritance, a two-part play by Matthew Lopez. Really beautiful, really profound production that felt really timely and also just something that I wanted to help, lift up. And so it just felt like it made sense for me that was the next project. And then it was during the pandemic. And so we watched from our homes, unfortunately. Grateful that I got to go and, be there for once on this island. But I was actually floored because there were just so many really great contenders too in plays that year. And but again, this is just so compelling and important of a story. And I'm glad that people responded to it the way that they did. And now I have 2 Tonys, which is so wild. In my wildest dreams, I never thought I would say that.
It's an amazing show. It just played at one of our local theater companies in Columbus here.
Oh,
At
wow.
1 and
Amazing.
2. So I didn't get to see it on Broadway at all, which
Right.
I always shoot myself. I'm a 6-hour drive from New York, and I never
I
get
know,
there to
but
see as
it's
many
it's
places
a
as I
too
want.
long 2-parter too. It's a
Exactly.
commitment.
So yeah, they did. I mean, they broke it down 1 month for the first part, 1 month for the second part. So it made it
Wow.
an easy way to go to Columbus and kind of get it that way. It wasn't
Amazing.
a back to back
Right.
like New
That's a
York.
lot.
But I love it. And then I love seeing this other part of Matthew. I mean, you have Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is
Right.
blown up all over streaming, right?
I
And so
love it. I
you
love
go
it.
from The Inheritance, which is pretty deep, heady stuff, to this fun comedy. So it's just been a great juxtaposition.
Yes. So happy for him. So happy. He's wildly talented.
And like I said, that's how I mean, I'm probably the oldest Glee fan in the world because I was of a certain
No.
age when Glee started, but I was in show choir in LA and everything. So for me, it just
Right.
resonated a lot for me. So I
Right.
didn't care how old I was watching. I just thought it was great, well acted, and just reminded me of stories. And it was just a lot of fun, right? So
Yes.
I've been a Glee from way back. But then, like I said, in our very first interview, my first really coming to know you and love you was Epic Fail, your first podcast, when you would talk about all these backstage theater
Failures.
performances. And I got to see you at Pittsburgh Civic Light in
That's right.
the
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So much
Wow.
fun.
That was a really
And
fun production. I loved doing that one. I love
it
that
was
one.
a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah,
I love
it's
seeing it.
ridiculous.
It's a great little space for it there and everything.
Beautiful.
And yeah, a lot of fun. So
Yes. Well,
been
you're
a
definitely
long
not the
history.
oldest Glee fan, that's for sure.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad to hear that. I feel it sometimes, but I'm not. I mean, because
No.
I'm enjoying the new podcast, and we'll jump into that a little bit
Sure.
here. Showmance was a lot of fun. That's when I had you and Kevin on last, and you were talking more about different dynamics in the show itself, right? So that was
Right.
sort of a dynamic thing, and it was so great. And of course, everything that happens, and so you guys stopped doing
Of
it for a
course.
while, and now you've really delved into it. What was the impetus on going back to that? Was it hard to come back to it? Like I took 2 years
Yeah.
off for the pandemic. The first year, because entertainment died, right? There was no one to
Right.
talk to for the first year. The second year, just to get my happy butt back to the microphone every
Sure.
day was hard. How was it? I
Yeah.
mean, how are you doing going back to
Yeah.
podcasting in general?
It was a lot, I think we took the break, not even because of the pandemic, but because of Naya passing. And
Of
so,
course.
we took the time to really evaluate why we were doing it. And people were asking a lot of questions, and we just didn't feel like that was something that we wanted to focus on. We wanted to grieve and kind of step away from Glee for a second. Because we had pivoted from Showmans to a Glee rewatch podcast. We got through season 1, and we were, I think, in episode 5 of season 2 when all of that went down in 2020. And then we just couldn't avoid it. Every fan, everybody said, "Is it coming back? What are you guys doing?" And we felt like if we were going to do it, we wanted to do it right. We wanted to reclaim it, do it on our terms, because Showmance was kind of, we kind of switched gears very quickly. We were like, oh, I guess this is what the fans want, so we're just going to give it to them without really thinking about what it is we wanted to do. And so we called this podcast the intentional, authentic one. And having Ryan come on, which was such a gift in those first 2 episodes, he really set the tone for us, and in a way that we didn't expect. And it's really created a wonderful space for cast, crew, fans to be really honest with their experience. And so we are really enjoying this version because of the intention behind it, I think. And podcasting is so weird now. Obviously, we're like on, this is the first time we've done it with video. But Kevin and I can like pop on our Zoom, do a, quick interview, pop off. It's actually really great, especially for me who became a mom right after the pandemic. It's like my time is so precious. And so I really enjoy podcasting because you can do it from home, and you can also connect with people and, and share it with the world.
Exactly. You and Kevin have such that shorthand already, and it's great to see you guys. Yeah, but like you said, the whole Naya thing happened, and I understand that. And then, of course, we have Leah Michelle things happen, everything when this thing starts, but it's great to really bring that out. And my favorite part of the new podcast, to be honest, is not the recaps, but more of the guests you're having in between.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're having all these different aspects of it. It was fun just having you guys talk to Chris Olsen and go kind of off topic
I
on
loved
what it's
him.
like to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done some great episodes with some great people, and having all these different guest stars for it. That's almost more fun for me to watch.
Yeah, we love that part. We really do. We I mean, like, we got to talk to the Go-Go's recently. It's just so cool to be able to, especially with the strike, obviously, our guests are limited. With the SAG strike still. And so we're just really grateful that we can kind of go to the music medium, which is really, we didn't really get to talk to a lot of the artists that we were covering back in the day. And so to be able to do it now and talk to the Go-Go's, it's so cool. So cool.
I love that. My guest tomorrow that I'm interviewing with is Duke Mason, Belinda Carlisle's son from the Go-Go's. So Duke's been on the show before, and of course Belinda's just been blowing up lately with all of her solo stuff as well as. And I've been a huge Go-Go's fan forever. So
me too.
That was a great episode. I love listening to that episode.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone that you've tried to connect? I mean, that's a good thing too. Talk about the strike, is you can actually talk about past stuff, right? Can't talk about any future projects, so it's nice to be able to talk about some past. Anyone that you're really looking forward to connecting with, or you haven't been able to just connect with yet?
We're looking forward to having more cast on for sure. Again, more music people. Nobody that we've asked has said no yet, so we're very lucky. Obviously, we want to have like Rat Falchuk on again, and we would love to have some guest stars like Gwyneth and Kate Hudson. Even though we didn't get to work with like Kate and Sarah Jessica Parker as much, it's just one of those explosive things that you like look back on and go, how crazy was that? So, the guest stars who kind of came in, it's just interesting to hear their perspective from the outside because we were so in it. So yeah, definitely some of our guest stars I'm excited to chat with.
And I love that you bring up the music part. I mean, you guys had 700 plus songs, I think. So it's like,
Totally.
and they were everyone's kind of life at the time. A lot of them were very much part of the culture back at the time. So
Sure,
the
sure.
music it could have its own episode just on and of itself.
Oh yeah, I mean it's its own podcast, really.
I love that. And like I said, we talk about full circle moments. When you and Kevin were on, we were talking about on Showmance the wedding segment, which was cracking me up at the time. And you guys would do these things talking about your weddings. And I remember
know.
even on my show, I listened to it a couple of weeks ago, and you were talking about how you would have a man of honor, everything, and what comes to pass, there you go.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. I have to go back and listen to all the things that I projected or manifested. That's really funny. Yeah, that kind of died with the Showman's version that we were doing early on. And so it was ironic when I got engaged and I was, we didn't have the segment anymore, but Kevin did step in as my best man at the last minute, as my man of honor. Bear was one of my other in my wedding party. We did, kind of untraditional, ways of in our marriage, and on our wedding day, but Kevin really came in the clutch, so it was really great.
I love that. So much fun.
Yes.
And we talk about all these projects. I talk about the two queens. I mean, between you and Kevin on Celebrity Super Secret, Drag Queen, whatever. I figured out Kevin relatively early on. I figured Kevin, he has a unique kind of personality. Totally. You, I was a little surprised by. I didn't realize it was you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why. I don't know. It's because I didn't think you guys would be together, but was that as fun to do as it looked for you?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was funny. Well, a funny story. We were in Vegas recently and a fan came up and said to Kevin, right in front of us, I really loved you on Secret Celebrity Drag Race, and walked away. And I was like, okay, bye. It happens often. It's okay. But it was the best thing to do together. So Kevin was signed on to do it, not unofficially, and I had heard about it, and I was like, "You have to do this." And then he told them yes a little. I don't even know if he shared the story, so hopefully it's okay. But he something happened, and then he ended up not doing it. And then they called me, and I called him, and I was like, "I'm doing the thing you're not doing anymore. Are you okay with that?" And he's like, "Oh my God, yes." And then he called me and he's like, "I'm doing it too." And they tried to keep us all away from each other, used our character names, like our drag names on our dressing rooms and everything. And we're like, come on, you guys, you don't think that we text or talk every day? Like, you're joking, right? So I was also 9 weeks pregnant at the time, and Kevin was one of the only people who knew. So it was really nice to have an ally with me, because my drag costumes getting smaller. I was sick. Like, there was just a lot going on. But again, it was so much fun. What a fun experience. Something different where we got to work together again. And Kevin was just slaying. I mean, he was killing it up there, and I had fun myself, but I was secretly ready to leave the show when they kicked me off. I don't know if they knew that, but I was ready to go and lay on my couch. But it was the best thing, and I don't think it was even, the whole experience was made because we did it together. That's the way I feel about it.
I bet. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I was like, you go, girl, with that. Because I knew when I found out where you were, it's like I couldn't believe that. You were able just to kind of go through all that, but it was so much fun to watch. I'm not a huge Drag Race person in general. I usually watch the end ones, but the celebrity one was fun. So I've watched both of them.
I hope they do it again. I would love to watch it.
Just a blast to do.
Yeah.
Now, how much were you in the text chain, and how hard was it to keep a secret about Amber and Masked Singer? Talk about that.
I mean, the minute I saw that harp, I was like, you're joking, right? Like, I know who this is. She didn't say a word. I mean, she did not say a word. A word. I think they were much stricter on their contracts on what they could say and what they couldn't say. They really kept them very separate, I hear. But I knew. and I would send Kevin and all of our friends like the clips afterwards of her numbers. Obviously, you just know that voice, but
Right.
I mean, it was amazing. It's so cool. And I would text her, and sometimes she would just laugh and say LOL, but like she didn't say a word until the very end. It was
Really?
really cool. Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Such a fantastic job. That was great.
No, I know. Amazing. I got to go listen to more of those clips again, those YouTubes, because they're so good. So good.
Yeah, I like that so much.
She's got like the
Yeah,
EGOT
it's fun to kind of see
competition
those
shows.
things as we go through. Now we're in
all of your friends succeeding.
What's that?
All of our friends succeeding, you know?
Exactly. It's always great to kind of have that, and just kind of it's great to celebrate others. There's so much tearing down in the industry.
Yes.
I mean, the public loves to build you up and tear you down. It's
Yes.
nice when you have each other to lean on and keep building each other up like that.
Of course. Yes, of course. You have to.
Now I'm having you on in spooky season here. It's October.
Yes.
I can't believe how cute you guys were in your little League of Your Own costumes last year. Do we have a family costume plan for this month?
Yes, there's a family costume. You'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely family themed.
Nice.
Centered around the little one, but definitely family themed. It's very
exciting.
exciting.
I want the Stanleys to match the Neil Patrick Harrises. I want you guys
gosh.
in a competition.
I don't know. They're at like a 10. We're at like a 4 or 5. We're like, what's comfortable but cute? We had a couple of ideas. One of them, we were going to do the Sandlot and make her squints, and I just thought, we did baseball last year. We can't do baseball again. So we have a great idea. The costume was ordered last night, actually. So
that will be
very
amazing.
exciting. Yeah, it's made Halloween a lot more fun. I generally liked Halloween because like the cast liked Halloween back in the day, and we would do these themed costumes and things, but I didn't. I don't really like dressing up because that's what I do for a living.
Exactly right.
So
I've never been. I mean, Halloween is the gay Christmas, but I like gay Christmas. I'm not a big Halloween person, but I love Christmas. I'll decorate up for Christmas. I'll have the parties, and I love Christmas. But Halloween was never that big a deal.
Agreed.
A lot of work, like you said. You got to try to be creative.
It's too much.
Too much work. I have 2 questions for you from the audience. I put it out last week. Ask if anyone had any questions. Let me pull them up real quick.
Okay.
They were kind of fun. First question, and of course they're going to be all about Glee.
Okay.
First one, what is your best memory with Corey, Mark, and Naya? Asked Glenn Corser in Austin, Texas.
Oh my goodness. There's so many. Well, Corey used to be a party thrower, and very inclusive, nice to everybody, knew everybody's names. So, some of my favorite memories were when Corey would throw these like huge house parties for like the cast and the crew. There was one year that I think the wrap party, they did one for the crew, one for the cast, but not a mixed one, which is no fun. We don't want to just celebrate with, each other. We want to be with our, real friends. So, that we don't see all the time, and so Corey threw a really big rage around his house, and I just loved watching other people have fun. He really got a kick out of that. And then with Naya, man, she was such a prankster and a jokester, and I mean, she used to throw these like epic Christmas parties, the Snicksmas, and then also she loved to do Vegas for her birthday, and it was always just a hoot of a time. And just being on set with them too, like they were both so wildly talented, and they really stood out. And so just to like watch them work and hang out with them was really fun.
All right, question number 2 from Chris Franklin in Chicago, Illinois. If you could put out a duets album, what's a couple songs you would pick, and who would you like to sing them with?
Oh my God. That is a big question. Okay, look. I don't think I could give you those answers right now off the top of my head. So what I'm going to give you is a couple of my favorite duets from Glee that I would put on an album, and they're not all performed by me. I would definitely perform Whenever I Call You Friend with Kevin, because that was one of my favorites to sing with him. This is a trio, so it was Kevin, me, and Darren, and we did Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson. Loved doing that one.
Nice.
Boy Is Mine, I'd put on there because it's Nia and Amber. And then again, Rolling in the Deep, not Rolling in the Deep, River Deep Mountain High, Nia and Amber. Dog Days Are Over with Amber. I did sing on that one. Yeah, those are just a few. Oh, and Pretty Unpretty, which was Leah and Diana.
There you go, Miss Producer, get on that. The duets,
the Glee album. I mean, where was that, Ryan?
There you go, exactly. If they're not going to do it, tell them to give you the right. Time for Jenna Ushkowitz produced album. You talk about Vegas. I saw you're in Kevin's recent Fun in Vegas for Haagen-Dazs. I teased about it in our emails. How much fun was that to do? That looks like it was a blast. Is it more work or is it more fun?
It's mostly fun, to be honest, but it was actually the day after I had to put Bear down. So it was really tough, but it was also like a gift, it was like a gift to go. If there's anybody that I'm going to see that day after doing something that horrible, it's Kevin. He had mimosas waiting for me when I got off the flight, and they made it, iHeart's amazing, and they made it really seamless for us, and we recorded a podcast that's live now on our feed that was from Vegas in a soundproof booth outside of the T-Mobile Arena. So like people were like walking by, we're like sitting ducks in like a pond, but it was really fun to actually record a podcast episode together in person. So that was really fun. And, we shot that Haagen-Dazs reel while we were there. And so, it was actually a really welcome distraction, a great way to get out of LA, get out of my house. And I mean, honestly, the reason why Kevin and I do the podcast is so we can be together more.
I bet, sure.
So it's really worked out in our favor.
Are you a Vegas fan at all? I love Vegas.
Yes, we love Vegas. I love Vegas. It's so great. You get in and out in 24, 48 hours. It's so much fun. There's so many.
So nice.
Especially with these residencies
easy breezy
now.
to get there. You go in the middle of the night. You can get there. So my best friend and his wife lived there for a long time. So I go see them. I just had Ada Vox from American Idol on the show.
Yes.
And there's a new LGBTQ resort that's going on the Strip near Little Whitechapel. So she's going to be performing Ada in the
amazing.
Vox. Isn't that cool? They haven't got the hotel part yet, but they have the nightclub kitchen up right now.
Okay, I wonder if Kevin knows about it. That's really cool.
So I'm looking forward to going down.
I'll be staying there.
I'm hoping in October to get down there. October 20th in Palm Springs.
Oh, nice.
We're doing Leslie Jordan's presentation of his star on the Palm Springs Walk of Fame.
Amazing.
My buddies are doing, so I'm going to go down for that.
Cool.
And Palm Springs Pride's November, so I'm going to hit Vegas.
You'll be over there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's always a
fun,
easy breezy trip and
totally
easy to drive to all those things.
Yes, we love Vegas.
Let's get into this fantastic marriage to the man of your dreams. I think in 2017 you hadn't met David yet. I know you guys were together when we were in 2019.
Correct. We met in 2018.
Meeting him, I mean, he's not in the business at all. Talk about this fantastic man of yours.
Yeah, he's a mystery man. He's not really on any social media. He's on there, but he does not have a presence on there. And we met on Hinge in 2018. It was a very short-lived residency that I had on Hinge. She was my first date. And the first date ended up just being hours of conversation and chatting. And I think we both attest to like our relationship early on going so well, due to like the fact we both were alone for a while and we had done a lot of self-work. We both are into therapy. And so, we really had done the work on ourselves. And so we were truly ready to meet each other, I think. And the rest is it really happened in exactly how it was supposed to. He moved in a year after. We got engaged during the pandemic on a walk. We would take these like walks down these these nice neighborhoods that we loved, and look at houses and be like this one or that one, and play kind of which house would you buy, and we got engaged in 2019, and then we were planning a wedding. Was it 2020? No, it was 2020 we got engaged, and then we were planning a wedding during a pandemic, not sure if it was going to happen at all. And vaccines came out, amazing. And so we planned a very a moderately sized wedding with outdoor options, and somehow by the luck of the vaccine gods, it happened and we were able to do it. So we were really grateful. And then a month later, I was pregnant, and we bought a house. And then, we decided after Emma's first birthday, which was this June, I said, I'm not doing another damn thing for a very long time.
Good for you.
Yeah, he's a normal. He doesn't, he works a 9 to 5. He does really. He's always been in like the social justice space and nonprofit space, education, and he's just really a very grounded guy. And I swore off actors a long time ago, so I knew that was going to be my future. But I'm really grateful I found him, and we've built a really nice life together. So
I'm so happy for both of you. You
Thanks.
deserve it. And you've always been, like I said, I remember you've been the picture of positivity. Your first book you wrote was all about being positive. And
Yeah.
I think you're very much that kind of personality. And so that eventually draws that to you when you kind of
Sure.
working on yourself like that.
Sure.
That's when you find the people that you're meant to find, right?
Totally. Yeah, I think as you get older, it's like the universe pushes away what you don't need and what you don't want, and and then it draws you to the people who are like-minded and the same kind of energy. And so yeah, we're just very lucky.
I love that.
Thanks.
And then little Emma comes along, so cute. I mean,
yes.
I know, of course, you're going to be a wonderful mom. He looks like he's a very doting dad.
Yes,
he is. Doting dad?
Yes, he is. He wanted a girl from the beginning, so I knew it was all over.
I love it.
Yeah, he's a doting dad. We're just over the moon. She's amazing, and every day is special and new and exciting for her and for us.
I bet.
Yeah,
that's what makes it all worthwhile. That's what makes Halloween and Christmas and makes it new again, right?
Yes, it really does. Everything. I'm willing to dress up for Halloween again. Okay. And we'll get a Christmas tree and we'll do the whole thing. And holidays were never like my, thing as an adult, but I go all out now. I am that mom. I am that person, and family photos, holiday cards, the whole thing. So I'm happy to do it. And it just, as she gets older, I'm sure it'll only get more exciting and enjoyable.
Right. I bet. We talked about it the first time you were on, and you've talked about it in all of your press forever, that you started doing this business at 3 years old. Now, from the other side, being a mom who's lived through it, what do you think about, would you ever let Emma do anything at 3 years old?
No, absolutely not. No. I definitely, I think my journey needed it. I was surrounded by adults, and I think it grounded me, and it taught me, discipline and how to be a team player, which worked in my favor and then not sometimes. But no, I think if she wanted to do it, and she was old enough to ask and state a really good case, then I would consider it. But I don't think you have a choice at the age that I was when I started. And that's not to say I'm not grateful for everything my parents did for me and all of the sacrifices they made, because obviously this is my career now. But no, I definitely not. Definitely not. No way.
I remember one of the stories that stuck with me. I mean, you're very young, you're going on Sesame Street, but you see both sides of it. You see the magic, magic, right? And I wouldn't want to do that to a kid. I think I'd want them to experience that as long as they could, right?
Totally. Yes. I will never get the picture of Snuffy hanging from the ceiling out of my head. Emma watches Sesame Street. It's the only TV we let her watch right now. And I can't yeah, I just, all I have are memories of like the Elmo behind the box, you know? So yes, I would love to keep the mystery as long as possible.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, you talk about kind of trying to find time for yourself now, trying to just enjoy and be a mom. I think we talked about the second episode, maybe how you were really going in through all the endorsements, you're doing the great makeup lines and things. Now you are working with so many great brands. How is that you have to be very picky now, I can imagine, just want to spend your time with those things. Is
Totally.
that still easy for you to pick those things out? I'm sure you have people pitch you all the time, but how do you kind of pick the people you want to work with?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you have to look at the brands. You have to look at, like, you know, on social media these days, you are a brand. I am a brand.
Right.
I am my own brand. And so it's, what am I promoting? And does this fit? And will this benefit? And how? You know, my followers and my fans. And so I do have an interesting mix of fans and followers, whereas a lot of these younger influencers who are really successful or not successful, like they have followers because of the brand that they are, you know, representing. And so it's very kind of convoluted for me, where it's a different lane, I think. But yeah, I think you just have to be really careful with the companies and vetting them and making sure that they are ethical. And you know, for me, it's pretty easy to be honest, because it either aligns with me or it doesn't. And if I would use it, if I would promote it, I think that's the parameter that I always use is, would I use this? Can I try it out? Do I like it? And then how do I organically promote this to people? Because otherwise they'll never believe you if you're lying to them, you know? And so I don't ever want to lie to the people that are there to support me. And, you know, social media can be a really dark place. My daughter will never have it, but, but I do try to find the good in it and the support, you know, especially for like the last month I've had with like Bear and everything. It's like the outpouring of love. And, you know, it just really does, the fact that other people are going through it or just put their dog down or their dog's sick or they went through it, it just helps, you know? So I think there is a special community within the social media world, but it's also very dangerous. And so, again, I try to be as real as I possibly can on it, because it's just oversaturated with stuff now.
I think you've handled it very, very well.
Thank you.
I want to kind of go into your recent projects. I mean, I talked about the fun of One Night in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
You've also gotten directing too with people you work with on there. Talk about your first directing project. How was that?
It was really fun. I actually basically funded it myself and cast it all with friends, which is, I think, the safest and most ideal way to go into your first directing gig. It was actually the producer and director of One Night in San Diego, Penelope Lawson, who said, look, if you want to produce something, I'll write it for you and we can produce together. So I had all of my friends, Pierce Cravens, who I grew up with doing Broadway as well. He produced it as well as One Night in San Diego. And so it just was like a comfortable environment with people I had worked with recently. And then, like, of course, Becca Tobin and Michael Hitchcock and Jamie Lynn Sigler, like, what a cast for that. But I was very lucky. People said yes, and they were just willing to be patient with me. I thought a dinner party would be an easier thing because it's one location, but I just didn't realize you have one room and 10 people to cover. So I made it my job harder for myself, which is on brand for me. But I accomplished it, and it was really fun. And then I had shadowed Brad Beaker, who did American Horror Story, just to kind of like dip my toes in and see if this is something that I would want to do down the line. And then obviously with the pandemic, there were no shadows and none of that. So I'm, obviously still thinking about it. But I had a really great time, and it's definitely something with the producer brain, like I'm a really good multitasker. And I think like, as I talk to younger folk who are like, I'm interested in this, like it's the skills that you have that you can foster to make better. And do you have those skills? or can you attain them? And so for me, producing and directing came fairly naturally with being on set all the time, and then also kind of my multitasking leader brain. So.
Right. I mean, that's Kevin teases about all the time is you're 3 steps ahead of doing 12 things at once. And
yes, that's right.
Keeping everyone else in check beside yourself. So I can see where that would be good for you there. I was going through it when I was doing some research on the different projects. It's like, oh, now I have another reason to hate Jenna, because in this one, you had Alexandra Daddario in, and I teased you on the very first episode that you dated Chang in Glee, who was the boyfriend of Daddario, because Matthew Daddario has been my imaginary boyfriend for like decades. Now you've worked on both sides of the equation.
Oh, that's funny. I am like 2 degrees of separation for you.
Exactly. So where do you see yourself kind of going now? Do you like the behind the camera more? I mean, now that you're a mom, I'm sure you're gonna be a lot more picky and choosy on your roles you want to play in front of the camera. Do you see yourself doing more behind the camera work, or just based on project like it's always been?
Yeah, I think it'll be based on project like it's always been, especially after the pandemic and then after the strike. There have been so many pauses, which has actually been a gift because I can think about things. I can ruminate on things that I wouldn't normally have time to ruminate on. And I think the most important thing is time for me right now, and like being around my daughter in these like early times where she'll never be this young again. So for me, I think it's much more about how do I create a life that I can sustain, creatively, financially, emotionally, and then also as a mother. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously being in front of the camera is like, and on stage is my first love. So if the right thing came along, that would probably be the initial, but I think behind the scenes could be really fun. And I think it also has more longevity to it in a career, especially as a female actress. So maybe both.
Yeah,
maybe
females
both
have that like 30 to 45 gap that they have to get through a lot. So yeah, it's great to have those other skills.
No, for sure. Yeah. You kind of have to be versatile in this business.
All right, well, we're going to have to kind of wrap this up here in a little bit. I really appreciate you coming back on. Like I said, you went from a rough week to doing this, and I appreciate all your time.
Of course.
Jenna Ushkowitz, it's been for people that have been living under a rock, you can give your social media out. We'll put it on here for everyone to see.
Amazing. It's Jenna Ushkowitz. You can spell it yourself. I'm just kidding.
It's a pleasure having you on. We can't wait 3.5 years next time. We'll have you back on another project. Guys, this has been a great time. Thanks for tuning in for us.
I get it.
You listen to Left of Str8 Show right here in the Left of Str8 Radio Network. Thanks, Jenna. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Left of Str8 Show. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast distributor, and please give us a 5-star rating so more listeners can find us. You can follow us on social media, and be sure to check out our website, www.leftofstraightradio.com, for contests and other news and information. See you next week.